Hello and welcome to the McTaggart Attack Podcast. I'm Kevin McTaggart, and in today's episode, it's another one of those episodes that I've done where I have no idea what I was going to talk about, and then it just sort of turned into something. I talk about one of my goals for 2021 is quitting my job at some point. And I sort of think, I can't remember exactly what I said now, but I do think someone listening to this might be able to find it inspirational in one way or another. So go ahead and before you go ahead and listen to me talk about it, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like this video. And if you're if you're just listening to this on the audio podcast, go ahead and subscribe, rate, and review. So here's me ranting about wanting to quit my job sooner rather than later. Fuck it, let's go. All right, I don't know. What do I want to talk about today? What's on my mind today that I want to talk about in the McTaggart Attack Podcast? I think I did talk about this in an episode a couple weeks ago. And I did mention how I want to quit my job at some point in 2021. That's a goal of mine. But I'm beginning to think that I might possibly want to do that sooner rather than later. Because I don't want to keep sticking around just for the sake of sticking around. I don't want to keep sticking around just to make other people happy. Because I've been thinking about it, and I had a job that I left 2 years ago at Conifer Health Solutions. I was there for 9 years, but towards the end, the last 2 years, we had this director come on board who created a hostile work environment. How do I know she created a hostile work environment? Because she got fired 2 months after I left for creating a hostile work environment. And here's the kicker that I find hilarious. That she texted me a few days after that, after she got fired, to let me know that she was let go because she created a hostile work environment. And she wanted to know if I thought that she did, because apparently she didn't think that she created a hostile work environment. If you created a hostile work environment and didn't know that you created a hostile work environment, you deserve to get fired. Honestly, you deserve to get fired if you don't know that you created a hostile work environment. That's just stupidity right there. That's just bad managing. That's just being a bad supervisor. And months before I left, I had this urge to just quit my job. But no, I waited to do the responsible thing and find something else. And I did. I did find something else. And now I'm at that job still 2 years later, and there have been some changes, like some room changes. I share an office with a few other people, but not so much lately, not in the past, not since March, because of COVID. I work from home, and that improved the situation at first, because I liked working from home. I love working from home. Working from home is great. I did a YouTube video where I talk about working from home and how much I love it. So go check it out on my channel after you subscribe and like this one, okay? But as the months go by, I have that restlessness again, and I have that feeling of wanting to quit, and I kind of want to find another job, but I just feel like I'll be going through a vicious cycle of what if I do find another job and then get sick of that one. I really think that I want to quit and then just figure it out. Either I find a job somewhere else, or I make money on my own doing like comedy or podcasting or drop shipping or some sort of e-commerce type shit. You know, do like jobs on Fiverr, you know, post on Fiverr and do stuff for people randomly, you know. That would be more fun. I've talked about liking to do spreadsheets. I like to do spreadsheets, and I know most people are bored to tears doing spreadsheets, so I would like to, you know, help people with their spreadsheet issues, I guess. That's something that I find interesting that I know other people don't find interesting, but it's just that, like, I sort of had a plan that, like, later in 2021, I'd quit my job, but I'm thinking it might be much sooner than that, because I don't want to just stick around knowing that I'm not going to stick around. You know what I mean? And I know people are probably listening to this and thinking, but you have a job, why would you want to leave it? I'm sick and tired of working at a job that I'm not that interested in. And I know most people don't like their job, but I'm sick of not liking my job. I mean, I like who I work for and stuff like that, but it's not what I really want to do. I mean, I would love to make money off this podcast, and I need to kick that in gear, because all I do is post this podcast, and I suck at marketing the podcast, and I need to do better at marketing the podcast. And I'm going to do that. I'm definitely going to work on that. I just feel like I keep making excuses to stay where I'm at. You know, or don't quit my job until I do this. Just peel the fucking Band-Aid off. I have to do it a lot sooner than later. It has to happen sooner rather than later. I can't just keep saying that I'm going to do that, because you know what's going to happen in 2021? I'm going to stay here and continue to do podcast episodes where I complain about my job. I'd rather spend hours working on something that I'm interested in than waste hours doing something that I'm not that interested in anymore. I don't want to just have a job that I don't like. No one should have to have a job that they don't like. No one. And I don't want to go through that vicious cycle again. I'm sick of that vicious cycle. I know I've talked about this on my podcast before, but my supervisor is talking to me more and more about me not doing much work, and that's true. Because I'm just not that interested. And I need to do something about that. Either get better, do more at work, or do something else. That's all. That's all I wanted to talk about in today's episode. So, thank you. Hey, thank you so much for watching and or listening to the podcast today. I really appreciate it. If you watched it on YouTube, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and like the video. And if you listen to it on an audio podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to the podcast. And that's the bottom line. If you smell what the McTaggart Attack Podcast is cooking.